Okay, so Damon Cox was in the Scream, and his name's Damon Cox.
His last name is Cox.
His Cox, C-O-X.
Diamond-studded Cox.
Yeah, not Damon Penis.
Yeah.
So how the prop? We want to know, like, how did you make this? We want to talk about the penis.
Literally just farm boy sausage. You know? So, $6. I got to eat the rest of them.
A little bit of Nesquik. A little bit of Nesquik. Called it a day.
Leading up to the film, it had like some sort of, I don't know, like, what were you trying to say? It was like a social commentary.
Yeah, I mean, like...
There were 2 films in there.
Yeah, so like, it's 2 things. There's 2 things. I don't like to annotate my work because, I mean, like, it's, you know, the film will do the talking, but I will say, like, part of it was, you know, like, the extent to which I think we make ourselves through the media we make and consume, and the dialogue that happens when you, you know, create something and receive it. And then the other half was like, let me just take the piss and make an art film that's like ridiculous. I was like, let's have like my buddy cut his dick off on camera.
Yeah.
So I thought it was hilarious.
David Lynch. You know?
Yeah, that's it. And then like, you know, we had our little red room thing on the TV. It was like going for a Lynchian vibe, and it was a lot of fun on set. So
Mel was sitting next to me, and she's like, ooh.
Yeah.
No, that sounds pervy. No, she was like, oh. And then she was, ooh. She appreciated the dialogue. I mean, the dialogue, yeah, I guess you would call it dialogue.
Yeah.
He was talking to him in a monologue kind of way.
Going back and forth.
She really gelled with it, like she was engaged the whole way through. She was connecting with it. She's smarter than me.
Yeah,
and she
what
do you mean, yeah?
You better watch your penis, honey.
I know.
That's it,
I know. Luckily, she has to find it first. Let's go to questions. Yes.
It will seem to some, trapped by a picture, that nothing about what we are like can matter except as it gets reflected in our experiences.
Yeah, the song that was...
Oh, in the background, yeah, that was Epidemic Sound. So we kind of sourced a number of different tracks together and then made a composite that ended up going in the film. So took some sound effects of like pots and pans and stuff like falling down the stairs.
We kind of
pieced it together.
Yeah, we kind of searched everywhere for it. Like we just kind of found like what would be the best kind of like off-putting music for like. It was really hard to score that. Yeah. Because we were like, well, it can't be happy, it can't be sad, but it has to be off kilter. So a lot of like the samples, were like literally pots and pans breaking, and we had like whispers in there. Just like a lot of weird synthy noises. Just kind of created the score as it went.
So you created the soundtrack, like it's like the atmosphere. You cut sound and music like you would do with video.
Yeah, that was it. And it was like, you know, if it sounded a little bit like the Twin Peaks intro, then we hit our mark, right?
Yeah.
So
we wanted to shoot what was on the TV before we shot the other stuff, because I wanted to get like that look on the CRT TV. So we thought about like green screening it, and then we thought, just fuck my lighting. So
but you didn't superimpose the
no, that was like
playing.
That was a struggle of like trying to like burn a DVD in 2025. So that was fun. But yeah, I wanted to get a lot of like the weird effects that the CRT puts on the camera naturally at like a certain shutter. Wow. So like had to play with the shutter a little bit, and you'd get like those lines, and it was kind of like again off kilter and unsettling.
I know you. I know you. I know you. I put this idea in your mind.
The theme of having it go one way is kind of almost like a mental health theme, and then off to like horror film near the end.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think, like, on the nose of it, like, why can't it be both, right? Like, you can kind of blend these things, and I think that, like, when you sit at, like, the crux of, like, 2 different genres, you can think about both of them in a fresh way, and then you can still have, like, you know, what might be a trite or cliched sort of dialogue end up being resonant in a new way. But then also, it was, like, the theme reveal was pretension, and basically, like, we were, I think, sitting around in Jesse's basement, and he's like, well, Pat, that's perfect for you. Go write something. And I was like, okay, I'll go make the most pretentious thing I can, and, like, play on every art film stereotype that I've always wanted to do, but, like, I was like, nah, I can't go there. And I was like, no, it'll be, you know, we'll get the black and white, we'll get, like, reflection in the eyes, there'll be some sort of cock in it, some sort of nudity in it, and I was like, I'll sit down and, like, try and keep everyone's attention for 3 minutes. And then, it ended up being, like,
Go into story about her fiance dealing with these landlords in BC who were withholding their damage deposit, so she sent him to go retrieve it. And true to the story, he was followed. He didn't kill anybody at the end, but he definitely
Yeah, because that escalated quickly.
Yeah.
Lynn's deposit.
She's my girlfriend.
Where is she then?
She had to work.
Or a social commentary on something deeper. Do you hate like damage deposits? Are you against them in real life?
When they withhold it, when landlords withhold it, I mean, again, the housing crisis in Canada is like terrible, and market prices are shooting through the roof in the West Coast. You see it out here in the East. So it was definitely kind of just writing something true, and tailoring it to an audience that again, entertainment.
It was funny. Got good laughs and all. People were on board right at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Is $500 like reasonable for a damage deposit?
It's a low amount. It's petty.
It's very low. Yeah,
It's
that's
petty.
what's beautiful about it.
Yeah. And some folks out there will, withhold that cash.
That's the first time I heard Susie say the F word.
Nice.
I got the money back, babes. Woo!
One of the things, besides the plot, is the whole aesthetic of the 1970s crime drama, the triangle in the living room of the three characters. I wonder if you could maybe talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I love the 70s. It's definitely my influence for films. It's my earliest entry into movies and understanding filmmaking. And definitely, with this one especially, I wanted to capture the Wild West, the Sergio Leone influences.
Oh wow, the shot between the legs.
The shot between the legs.
Yeah.
You got Mexican standoffs. You got cowboys, and crime in a city setting. So yeah, definitely in terms of staging and plot progression, like the 70s is always just my main motivator. Grounded, everything just grounded, static. And
But you also like Tarantino movies because it's got a similar aesthetic.
Yeah, definitely that kind of like Kodachrome kind of feel to it. Yeah.
And the acting can be campy and over the top, and it fits perfectly.
Yeah.
Did you try and kind of string us along, and was that laugh kind of an intentional moment, or like what were you going for with the short?
I wanted to do, usually when I'm writing shorts, I like the ABCs, just like a setup. Here's a problem, and this guy's got to get the money back from these people. So you're right into the story, and kind of just getting into the, tailoring a lot of the stuff that my friend went through, a lot of the dialogue with the returning the money, withholding the money, and exchanging the key, and the guy taking the $50, like that all happened. And so I wanted to tell that part of the story as well, and just kind of layer in that realism, and then go in for the third, act of it, where they're on the road and the shootout, and we had guns, airsoft guns, and the guy in the beige trench coat, Alex, he had the weapons, so he wanted to fire those, and so definitely, just wanted to kind of end off with a bang. And just make it entertaining, and just here's this third act, and it's in this strange environment, and the hero's got to get away and get to his girl, and you get the happy ending.
So that neighborhood was a bunch of homesteaders that had been there from about the 1800s, and they kind of gave up. But due to the hardship of trying to farm on such dry fields, they were finally forced to leave in 1948. But imagine they had to live there in those homes, and the main road was 5 kilometers away. So they had to walk down the road to get their water and all that. Really tough existence, I would say.
And it was kind of haunting because he had a score underneath it that was kind of like haunting music that was kind of like. Sometimes I felt like I'm being watched and stuff like that. Are you a spiritual person?
So, yes and no. In terms of ghosts, nobody knows what happens after you die. And as long as nobody knows, anything is possible. So there's always a possibility that ghosts or some kind of spirits exist until it's proven otherwise.
You're right, it makes life so interesting. Wanting to believe. That was the tagline of the X-Files, I want to believe. And he was so powerful and he reached out to me. It makes life great. If you're going to do something, just film it. You never know what's going to happen, and then it becomes a documentary.
54 years ago, a 5-year-old boy vanished at this lake while on a family fishing adventure. His body was never found, and it was presumed he had fallen into the lake and drowned.
When you were filming this, did you feel entities, like anything strange or abnormal?
You were by yourself?
I was by myself, but no, I didn't feel anything this time. But I've gone ghost hunting as well, and there have been times where I have felt a little weird. I've taken the Ouija board and gone to areas that are supposedly haunted, such as the old Ottawa jail hostel.
Oh.
And yeah, I went up there, like up on the top floor at like 2 in the morning with an Ouija board when it was all empty, and tried to communicate with whatever dead spirits were out there.
Okay, can you see it? Vincent and Dennis, paranormal investigators.
Yes, 100%.
Well, one has to play the idiot. I can play the idiot.
No, I don't, that'd be me.
You'll be the idiot. Don't steal my idea. I'm watching you.
We already have.
Oh no, Tyler Popes.
Yeah, stop stealing our idea.
Any other questions?
But I do believe that human energy may remain behind where death comes unexpectedly or where life was abandoned.
Did you believe that there was potentially an energy or ghost spirit in this film in particular when you went there?
I was hoping I would. I went kind of exploring with an open mind at both those locations. Yeah, I was kind of hoping something would happen. I was by myself, there was no one around for miles. So yeah, I was kind of hoping I would pick up on something,
So
but I don't think I did.
That feeling of cold, the feeling cold and empty. Could that have
Well,
been something, or is that you just?
I want to believe
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me adding a bit of dramatic effect to the film to give it, because it is a movie at the end of the day. So yeah, so that part was fake.
Okay.
But you capture something. Maybe like there was energy and there's memory and there's emotion and there's like spirits in this film that you created. Who knows?
Yeah, it very well could
Maybe
be.
they're
you
a
know.
part of it.
And who knows what happens when I'm gone, you know? That place is empty.
We will miss you.
No, I meant when I was gone for
That makes sure that
if I'm gone, if I put a bullet in my head, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna haunt Kino. I'll appear on the screen.
How did you find out about that, and what inspired you to actually go out there and make a documentary about it?
Well, first, thank you for your comment. I appreciate it. And regarding the lake, there was a podcast on CBC about the young child who drowned in the lake. So that's how I heard about it. And I looked on a map just to see where the lake was.
they drowned not recently, but
No, it was like 1972 or
so
something
recent
like
enough,
that.
according to the timeline. Yeah. This is a series. This is the fourth or the third entry in the series.
Fourth episode, actually.
Ooh, right on. Okay, so you guys read it together?
Nope, I wrote it myself.
You read it. How does it feel like? Do you have any input on your character?
Well, I mean, I put my ideas to a manual and say, hey, what if we planned it this way or did it a different way? So we do like multiple takes and stuff, and different, like a goofy one or a serious one. Most of the time, because it is a comedy, so we gotta stay on the funny side.
Well, let me tell you something. Working for Colin's Tavern is serious. You got that?
Yes, sir.
You filmed here, which is great. Let's address the elephant in the room. There was a lot of like the sound. Did you notice the sound was peaking a lot?
Yeah, I haven't exactly figured out how to blurt out the background noise.
Or the background. But by peaking, I mean it's like it's distorted, where people, like, their voices are too loud and it kind of breaks the sound apart. It goes, ah!
Yeah, I sort of upped the dosage of the volume a bit too much.
And the gentleman who played your boss, he's not here tonight.
No, he's not.
Ah,
unfortunately.
Right. Does he yell like that in real life? Is he like
No,
a yeller?
he doesn't.
Like, no? Hey, wow.
He does not. Right?
No, he doesn't.
So who did the camera?
I also did the camera.
Oh, you did everything?
Yeah.
So when you were in it, was the camera on a tripod?
Yes, it was actually. On my own tripod.
Filming yourself is difficult, right, Stephanie?
Absolutely.
There you go. Good for you.
Well, to be fair, I did have help from Tyler, as always.
Mm-hmm. Well, Tyler's been around for a long time. He's got a lot of experience, right, Tyler?
Yep, exactly. I try.
I just know George is gonna do something to get us fired.
I noticed twice you broke the fourth wall and talked directly to the audience.
Mm-hmm.
Wondering what was the motivation behind that?
Well, it was kind of his idea.
What was the motivation?
Motivation is the fourth wall break is sort of funny.
Yeah.
If you don't believe me, ask Deadpool.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. Did you break the fourth wall in the other episodes you did?
No, we did not.
Is it something you're gonna do from now on because it's funny?
Maybe. What do you think?
Possibly. There's a possibility we might Deadpool it.
It's a lot of fun because then the audience is in on it.
And please try to not knock anything over.
Where do you see your characters progressing in the future? Do they, what's the end game here with the characters?
Well, I can't say for sure. I write this for fun, but I will say that they will continue. They will continue to not get at each other's throats like in the first few episodes.
I love it. Do you find like this is like a sitcom formula?
Yes.
So like every episode, there's the adventures of George and Louie, and they do something, and they just, who ruins it every time? Is it you?
Oh, yeah, mostly me.
Yeah.
All the time.
The couch, which you had 3 of yourselves, was that the first time you do that?
I don't even know how to put it into words. Yes, I've done before where I cut back and forth between different versions of me. So this time I thought, well, if I put the camera here and aim across there, the sofa is huge and divided into 3 sections. If I just stay within those sections, I should be able to edit together. Not realizing I could not control the lighting, and as much as I did that within all of like 20 minutes, the lighting was so different they would not edit together. None of the scenes. So that's what I learned from that.
Yeah. Well, we suspended the disbelief after a while. We just accepted it was what it was, and it looked fine, and we believed it.
That's it. I figure I learned what I needed to learn from the experience.
Yeah.
It still told the story that I was trying to tell, and which really wasn't much of a story. So,
well, I mean,
1 subscriber. Yes, let's celebrate.
Yes. Well, sometimes what we do is we turn off all the lights and we start lighting it ourselves. We control the light.
I would, except for I have no curtains on the window, and that is literally daylight.
Aluminum foil? That's a lot of window, though.
I suppose, but yeah, it goes right across the room, and I'm not sure I would be bothered.
Yeah. Did you ever get like spectators, people looking as you're filming?
I wouldn't know the difference because I get that just walking down the street. So I don't ever notice. Other people may notice that. Other people will tell me going, did you see them looking at you? And it's like, no.
Again,
I'm just living my life. I'm just
you could be as weird and messed up as you want to be in public as long as there's a camera rolling, you get away with murder.
And it is crazy. But you can also just be away with just being confidently odd.
Yeah.
It's the confidence that sells it. It's not the oddity or anything else. But I do like things from other periods. Like I love the styles from other periods, but I prefer them when they're taken out of where I'm used to seeing them and thrust into someplace really where they don't belong. That it will always be my favorite. And for me, it's the whole concept started because pretension and pretentiousness and all that was, if I put on this elaborate gown and the hair and pick up dog poop.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Like that's literally what it started with. All right, now I have to make that have a reason to exist.
Was this your first film?
Second.
Second film.
Or well.
Well, you
second,
were at the helm.
Second short film.
You have to promise not to tell anyone, though. Please.
Whatever, fine. Tell me.
What'd you film this on?
It was a manual's camera, so, but it was downstairs, in someone's basement.
So there was like green screen.
Yeah, green screen.
What was the hardest part of making this?
Probably editing, honestly. I didn't do, like, someone else was doing the editing, but, like, it was just, like, just knowing that it wouldn't really come out, like, expert, like, because, I mean, it was very amateur, and that's no shade to Yasser, he's chill, and he did a really good job on it, but he was pretty much like, hey, just so you know, this might not come out like top tier quality. And I'm like, you know what, that's fine, as long as the story is told.
You guys want a snack? I could give you a discounted meal if you want.
I just wondered.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Why black and white?
Just because, given the fact that it's a mafia story, we kind of just figured that like black and white suits the vibe of like mafia vibes. Now it would be cool if we all had like Jersey style accents, but we were like,